Let's get to something that could take all of our lives, and that's cancer. Since many, many more companies are in the cancer research business, we feel like they spend a lot of money, a lot of time for sometimes what seems to be, why isn't there a cure for cancer out there right now? Because that industry was doing really well when COVID hit, and now there are a lot of feelings that COVID has changed and slowed down that entire cancer drug industry.
I would say, this is probably the area where we're most excited today. I mean, we've been fighting cancer now for several decades, and the earliest forms of treatment were indiscriminate forms of radiation chemotherapy, where you're trying to kill the cancer cells before you kill all the healthy cells. And I think what you're seeing today is moving to much more targeted immunotherapies. So immunotherapies, perhaps the best-selling cancer drug in the market today is Merck's Keytruda, which is an immunotherapy. And the way that works is it exposes the cancer cells, which often try to hide behind the healthy cells, which makes it much harder to target those unhealthy cells with chemotherapy. So Keytruda, exposes those unhealthy cells, making it much harder for physicians to target them via chemotherapy and radiation. That's one technology that we're really excited about. I think, the big advancements that we're seeing today, are in antibody drug conjugate, ADCs. You could think of these as precision guided forms of chemotherapy that attach to the cancer cells and deliver the payload or the chemotherapy directly to those cancerous cells, avoiding the healthy cells. And so we're investing behind companies that are developing ADCs in a number of different indications of cancer. We think this could be probably the biggest growth market within cancer that we'll see. We're also seeing cellular therapies. So we're investing in a company, for example, that's developing a T-cell engager for prostate cancer. And there's some remarkable data coming out of a recent study that showed that PSA, which is the primary marker of patients with prostate cancer, this T-cell engager could reduce PSA levels by 50% in 100% of patients within the trial. So just really remarkable progress. So I would say that immunotherapies, antibody drug conjugates, cellular therapies within cancer, basically much more targeted forms of chemotherapy that, first of all, deliver much better results in terms of survivability, much lower levels of toxicity for patients that are undergoing these treatments. I think cancer treatment has come a long, long way. To your question, it may have slowed down during COVID. And I think that's perhaps because the entire world was focused on a single problem, and the FDA was having to delay applications in other disease categories to focus on those COVID, applications throughout 2020 and 2021. But we've now kind of moved past that phase, and we've seen, in the last 2 years alone, 172 new therapies approved, many of them within oncology. So I think, this is an area where you can expect to see continued progress